Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is Straight Out of Boston here, aka the King of Boston. Today we're back for episode 20 of my Indiana Pacers MyLeague here in NBA 2K15. And today we're back into the NBA Finals, taking on the Los Angeles Clippers, almost said the Cleveland Clippers, and we're simulating to the first elimination game as always. You can see we're down 2-1 already, and we're going to lose game 4, so we're down 3-1 in the series, our first big series deficit all postseason. I think we've only lost one postseason game so far heading into the series, but take a look at the Los Angeles Clippers stats and you can see it's pretty much the same team except for the one trade we made with them. Harrison Barnes and Tristan Thompson are on their team, DeAndre Jordan obviously on our team, and you can see this is the first time we're going up against a team fully healthy. We had run into some injury luck, so to say, going up against some opponents missing some players. Kyle Lowry, Kyrie Irving, Michael Gilchrist, but now we're facing a fully healthy Clippers team, and we have a big task ahead of us as we have to try and come back down 3-1 and try to win these last 3 games of the series, which would include 2 in Los Angeles as they do have home field or home court advantage. So anyway, you can see Harrison Barnes is in their starting lineup as well as Tristan Thompson does not start. Spencer Hawes gets the start at center, and Thompson sort of takes over that role as third big man. You would think that would really hurt their defense, having Spencer Hawes as your starting center and your backup. You're just your bigs. If you're 3 big men, or Thompson, Griffin, and Hawes, you're probably not going to be a very good defensive team. But they've been able to make it to the conference. They've been able to get one game within winning the NBA title. So I guess I can't really debate with that. But it's clear that that trade has worked out for both sides, much like the George Hill. I remember leading up to the 2013 finals when the Pacers almost played the Spurs, and there's a lot of talk about the George Hill and Kawhi Leonard trade and how that sort of worked out for both teams. And I think it's pretty obvious now who won that trade. I mean, George Hill is a nice little player, but probably not worth $8 million a year, and probably not quite as good as Kawhi Leonard, and also not as young and doesn't have quite the ceiling, but still, it's a trade that worked out for both sides at the time, and I think you can say the same thing about this DeAndre Jordan for Tristan Thompson and Harrison Barnes trade. But anyway, we're down early here. Spencer Hawes getting the steal. It's going to actually gets the loose ball. He didn't get the steal there, but he gives it up to Chris Paul, and Paul knocks down the layup, and we're down 11 points right now, 23-12. And I apologize for not posting this yesterday. It was obviously Christmas Day, and did not, was not able to sort of get away and record this commentary, but I had this video ready. Also, PSN was down anyway, so I figured I wouldn't be able to record the next episode, but I actually was able to record the next episode after this one. I'm not going to reveal what it was, whether it was an off-season episode or Game 6 of the finals, but I was able to record it without having to be online. I thought you would have to sign in to play MyLeague, but I guess they switched it up this year. You don't have to be online. I remember last year you couldn't play MyGM if it was offline, but either way, you can see 30-18 is the score right now. LA on top. Kelly Oubre in, now being covered by DeMarre Carroll. I actually really like DeMarre Carroll on this Clippers team. I think he'd be a great fit in real life. They still sort of lack a wing defender who can knock down some threes, a D&3 guy, DTA guy, whatever you want to call him. And I think DeMarre Carroll would really fit, but I don't think he's really up for sale because the Hawks are like 20-7 right now, and they're, I think, atop the Eastern Conference maybe. So I don't think he's going anywhere. But here's Jimmy Butler in the corner. You can see Redick just sags off too much. Butler's going to shoot that in his face. Get it to go, so we get the lead down to 5:30-25 right now. 7 minutes to play in the second quarter. Chris Paul bringing it up right by Jimmy Butler, and the help defense by Moutier is too late. Paul gets the hoop, and it's now a 9-point game down to a 7-point game, 34-27. DeAndre gets the loose ball after a bad pass. We hit Butler in transition. He's at the 3-point line. He stops and pops and knocks down the 3, so we're again within 4 now. Redick's layup is no good, rebounded by Emmanuel Moutier. He's going to bring it up himself. He's got options. He lobs it up to DeAndre Jordan, who slams it down with 2 hands, and it's a 1-point game. We've come all the way back right now, 36-33. George to the hoop, and 1 foul on DeMarre Carroll, and a free throw with an opportunity to tie. He would knock that down. So we are tied at 36. We're tied for the first time since this game started at 0-0. But now here's Blake Griffin in the post being covered by Jimmy Butler, and then he dishes it down to Spencer Hawes after DeAndre tried to come over and help. So here we go now in an ensuing possession, pick and roll. Moutier to the hoop, and you can see he loses it there, but gets it back. Hawes leaves. That's just going to leave the short little Chris Paul to cover the 6'5" Moutier. And down low, Moutier's got such a height advantage that he's going to be able to make that shot most of the time, but Blake now being covered by Millsap, but for some reason DeAndre decides to double. That leaves Spencer Hawes wide open down low, and Hawes knocks down he slams it down with 2 hands. 44-41 is the score right now. JJ Redick, time winding down in the shot clock, pulls up for 3 and drains that in Jimmy Butler's face. Poor defense by Butler, cannot let JJ Redick get that open of a look, especially with the shot clock winding down like that. Now here's Kendall Marshall pulling up. He is going to knock down that jumper, and the Clippers go on a late little run here at the end of the second quarter and build their lead back up there. It's now 51-43 at the end of the second quarter. we're at halftime, and the Clippers now are just one half away from potentially winning their franchise's first NBA championship. But we can take a look at the halftime stats. You can see they are out rebounding us and out shooting us. We have forced an extra turnover, but still, we're just not playing very good basketball. Only 10 assists. We want that number to be around 14 or 15. I mean, it's really hard to get like 30 assists a game, but honestly, like just the way I play 2K, I feel like it is doable, and that's really the way I want to play this game. In real life, you wouldn't see a team, really aspiring to get 30 assists a game, but in 2K, just based on the way I play the game and based on the way I want this offense to run, I really want to see a number like that most of the time. But Spencer Hawes knocks down that 3, and they're up by 13 right now, 56-43. Mudiay looking for the screen from Millsap's actually going to kick this one to Paul George, who's going to knock down that 3, foul line extended, and he cuts us back to within 10. Now 59-50, JJ Redick with the ball once again, down low to Blake. Blake having his way with Paul Millsap right now, gets the right-handed little floater right there to go. They're back up by 11, now 61-50 still. Chris Paul's jumper is no good. That's going to be rebounded by DeAndre. Outlet to Jimmy Butler. Butler is going to throw this one up to Paul George, who slams it down in the alley-oop, and we're now within 7, 66-59. Chris Paul with the ball, gets it up the court quickly to DeMarre Carroll. No one back there can see DeMarre in the corner, and Carroll knocks down the wide open 3. They're back up by 12. Redick, shot clock expiring. That's no good. Rebounded by Harrison Barnes, puts it back up and in, and the Clippers are up by 14 now as we're edging towards the end of the third quarter. 73-59. Redick now dribbling it up. He stops. He goes right by Oubre and one on Paul George. And after that free throw, they would go up by 17 points. We've got it back down to 13 now. 76-63. Here comes KJ McDaniels. Up the court. Layup is good. We get it back down to 11 now. It's 13-78-65. Here is Jordan Clarkson with the ball, giving it to Kendall Marshall. Marshall pulls up, and Marshall knocks it down. They're back up by 15 here at the start of the fourth. We're trying to make one final run and save our season. We've come all this way. We don't want to down. We don't want to give in now. We don't want to cave now. We certainly want to try and extend our season at least one more game. So 81-69, 12-point lead for the Clippers. Chris Paul down low. Jordan Clarkson. Clarkson backs up, puts it up, and gets it to go. 83-69 now. Here is JJ Redick looking for a screen from Spencer Hawes. That one's tipped away and stolen. DeAndre with the ball. He's going to try to find Emmanuel Mudiay here, who just throws it up, and Jimmy Butler with the reverse slam. That was quite the play. I was actually going for Paul George there, but Butler comes up, snatches it out of midair, and slams it down. Now on the fast break, Mudiay to the hoop, and it's an 8-point game. Here come the Pacers, 83-75. Chris Paul with the ball, looking for a screen. Gives it into the corner. Harrison Barnes, foot on the line, 3. That'll be a 2. 85-75, now 87-77. Redick around the screen to the hoop, kicks it back out to Hawes. Hawes ball fake, open 3, it's good, and Spencer Hawes puts the Clippers back up by 13 with 6 minutes to play. Now JJ Redick with the ball, up by 12 for the Clippers. Here is Harrison Barnes fading in the corner. He gets it to go. Harrison Barnes with a huge shot. Now 92-78. Paul George with the ball coming around a screen. He's going to kick it to Butler in the corner. We're going to need to start hitting some threes if we want to get back into this one. 5 minutes to play. Butler knocks that one down. 92-81. Now DeAndre gets a steal. He's going to take it all the way himself. And one! Chris Paul fouls him on a free throw with a chance to get it back down to 8. But now it's 7. 92-85. Barnes out to Chris Paul for 3. And Chris Paul drains that in Emmanuel Mudiay's face. Paul has always really been overrated as a 3-point shooter in 2K. His rating's always in the mid-80s when he only shoots 33% from 3, but he is known to knock down big shots, and he knocked down a big one right there. Now they're back up by 9, 2 minutes to play. Barnes on the perimeter, jab step, gives it down low to a cutting Blake Griffin. That layup puts them back up by 11, and that might just seal it. Here we're down by 10. Paul George with the rebound, gives it to Mudiay. Mudiay's going to throw this one up to Butler. We get it down to 8 with 50 seconds to play. Trying to get a couple steals here, try to go quickly. Butler here, long 3, down by 8 with 30 seconds to play is no good. Griffin on the rebound, and that would pretty much seal it. 4 seconds left, and the Los Angeles Clippers are NBA champions for the first time in the franchise's history. First rings for Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, JJ Redick. Pretty much, I want to say everyone on this roster, I think, probably got their first title. And Doc Rivers gets his second. He was still the head coach, but they win the title. And I had actually not seen this finals presentation until I had watched this video, or until I played this game. And it's actually pretty cool. It's a little bit different from last year's. It's pretty nice, but I'll save the audio for when hopefully we win it next year, but we'll see. So I will have the off-season video out tomorrow. Hopefully I'm not going to live stream it. because I don't want to have to miss a day. I only have like another week or so before I have to go back to school, so I gotta keep pushing these videos out pretty quickly. So I don't want to, like, if I have to live stream, I'll probably have to skip a day of posting, and I can't really afford to do that at this point, especially after not posting yesterday. So anyway, we lose, and take a look at the There's Bill Russell, and I think it looks like Chris Paul gets the MVP. He would get the MVP. You'll see that in the offseason as well. Blake Griffin holding up the championship trophy, and we could take a look at the final box score here. We both shoot 81 shots, and we both made 40 field goals. The difference was they made a couple extra free throws and a couple more three-pointers, and that was pretty much the difference in the game. We both were similar in turnovers and all that. It was just knocking down a couple extra threes and getting to the line a couple more times. But anyway, that is pretty much going to do it. You can see the